The goal with Cone Flakes was to make a beer so blisteringly hoppy its flavors were akin to eating. They misprint. I think they misprinted this. What's going on, guys? So this is episode 2 of New England Brew With You. If you guys just stumbled upon this and you haven't seen episode 1, check it out. It kind of tells you what this whole series is about. So yeah, I'll put that video at the end of this video. It'll be up in the corner. A video in this series will be dropped every Friday. Like, comment, subscribe, get involved. Really appreciate it. So thank you. Let's get into this beer. So this is a local brewery, a brewery called Firefly. They're from Bristol, Connecticut, and they've kind of been around ever since I started getting into craft beer. Like when craft beer, like before craft beer even really took off, this brewery opened up in Bristol, and it's still, I mean, maybe it's a little bit of a biased opinion because it's kind of been the first brewery that I've ever went to as a craft brewery because they've just been around for so long. But I'm still gonna say it, like, I really do think that this is one of the best breweries in Connecticut, and this is their flagship beer. It's called Cone Flakes. The goal of Cone Flakes was to make a beer so blisteringly hoppy its flavors were akin, and it's like eating a bowl of hops with a spoon. We tried that and suggest drinking this beer instead. So that's kind of funny. They got like the the bowl, cereal bowl with hops in it. Yeah, I don't recommend doing that. I have tried that one time and it's bitter. We got the glass to go with it, Firefly glass. So let's give this beer a pour. Just like that. All right, cheers, guys. Yeah. Yep. So, this is an IPA. It's not a New England IPA. There is not much haze to it. There's a little bit of a haze, but it's definitely more filtered than a New England IPA. It just says double IPA, so I'm gonna go with that. It's not New England style, and it doesn't taste like a New England style IPA either. This is a little bit more. It's definitely really hoppy, but that's what they intended. And if you like hoppy IPAs, this is definitely a good beer for that. Now, going by taste, like in my previous episode where I was talking about the heady topper and it being really hoppy but not a lot of bitterness, this has a little bit more of a bitterness to it, so it's still very good. And it's, you know, so some people like that bitterness. I like the bitterness, but at the same time, I like in episode 1 I mentioned, I appreciate the quality of heady topper, of how you can get a hoppy beer and not have that bitter finish. So to me, that was really interesting. And for this beer, it's definitely a highly rated beer. I feel like it's really good, but it is a little bit bitter, and it is a little bitter, and that's just because it's so damn hoppy. Let's top her off. That's what's nice about 16-ounce cans. It's almost like having 2 beers. It's kind of nice. Look at the head on that. Really nice beer. It's not really a beer you can crush because of that bitterness and that hoppiness, and it's really not one of those beers where you're gonna want to have a lot of them. It is a really good beer. It's kind of like one of those things where it's one of these type of beers where, all right, like I want an IPA, I want something very hoppy, and you'll enjoy this one beer, this one glass, you're gonna love it. But after this beer, I don't think you're gonna want a second one because it is really hoppy. It's refreshing, but it's hoppy. It's kind of like a mix of both. It really is. Like it's refreshing when you're in the mood for a hoppy beer. That's kind of like what this is. Like if you're just really craving a really good flavored hoppy IPA, this is it. It's not going to be something that you're going to crush, and it's not going to be something that you're going to want to drink a lot of, but it's a really good double IPA. But yeah, Firefly Brewing was like, the first brewery to open up in this area. The brewer and like owner started like home brewing in like the early 2000s, and then he opened up Firefly Brewing in 2013. So I mean 2013 for me, I mean I consider that kind of before the whole jump to the craft beer bandwagon type thing. Like I really think that he started brewing beer before craft brewery really became a popular thing. I'm pretty sure like he went to some like really good college and he was like a chemist, and I think he started brewing beer as like a project, and he's been home brewing for a long time, like a young teenager or something. He's done a really good job. I mean, like I said, Firefly Hollow has a lot of good beers. This is just their flagship beer. We'll dig into more Firefly beers in this series for sure. Starting off with their flagship beer, and this is, yeah, it's a really good double IPA. So to kind of show like or talk about, like, Firefly has been around since 2013, and they're a very successful brewery, but at the same time, they don't really mass produce their beers, and they don't distribute them a lot. So the quality is still there. You gotta think this is their flagship beer since 2013. It's 2022, and their flagship beer on Untappd only has 10,000 ratings. It's averaging a 3.93, almost a 4. I gave it a 4. That was my rating. It really is. It is a 4 rated quality beer, if you know what I'm saying. On Untappd, you got 0 to 5, and you got to go by 0.25. That's the increment that you can go by. I went with a 4 because it really is kind of getting into the 4 category with this beer. It is a little bitter and it's very hoppy, but then again, that's what IPAs are, and that's why people like IPAs. This isn't a fruity IPA, it's not a New England hazy IPA. This is just a dank double IPA, and it's really good. It's got great flavor. So yeah, I think that a 4 is a good rating for this beer, and it's kind of cool that it averages a 3.93. I think that's a very accurate rating for this beer. But back to what I was saying, this beer has been around since 2013, 10,000 ratings on Untappd. That's not a lot for how long this beer's been out. So hats off to them. Hats off to not selling out. That's like a big thing too. Staying independent, staying like a small craft brewery. I really admire that, because I'm sure back in 2013 when they were like a great success before craft beer really became popular, I'm sure that they have been offered a deal with like a bigger company to maybe like sell out or mass produce and stuff. So I'm really glad that they didn't. They really kept the quality, I feel like. And still to this day, when I go to that brewery, it's like when I went to that brewery when they first opened up. And yeah, it's really cool. The brewery's like 10 minutes from my house, and like I said, I'm trying not to be biased because of that, but I really do think that like their quality beer is one of the best in Connecticut. I'm not gonna say it's the best brewery in Connecticut, because I've not been to all the breweries in Connecticut, although I have been to a vast majority of them. And I've been to a lot of like the popular ones. That there are a lot of good breweries here in Connecticut, there are, but I still think Firefly, like I said, I'm trying not to be biased because it was my first brewery, and they were like one of the first breweries to open in Connecticut and all this, and there's a lot of good memories. And Firefly is really the brewery that got me into wanting to go brewery hopping and trying craft beer. So it's definitely one of my favorite breweries in Connecticut for sure. I wouldn't want to drink another one of these beers right after this. It is hoppy. Very, 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 very hoppy. But like I said, that's how they designed this beer. That's why it's called Cone Flakes. You might as well just put hops in a bowl and eat it with a spoon. That's kind of what this is. Like, this is a very, very hoppy beer. So if you guys don't like hoppy IPAs, you're not gonna like this beer. But if you really like that pellet wrecking IPA, like, and you like that, you're gonna want this. All right, so that's the episode. Cone Flakes Double IPA by Firefly Brewing, Bristol, Connecticut. I give it a 4 on Untappd. It's got a global rating of 3.93. Yeah, if you come to Connecticut and you're just brewery hopping, check out Firefly. They got a lot of good beers. This is their flagship beer. If you like hoppy IPAs, they have this one, and there's a few other ones. We'll get into them. Thank you for watching this video, and if you liked it and you want to see more, subscribe to this channel, hit the bell. I'm going to be doing a New England Brew With You video every Friday, and I also have like adventure vlogs on Saturdays on the channel. Like, comment, subscribe, get involved. I'll comment back, and I just appreciate every one of you for just liking and watching this video. It really means a lot. It helps out the channel. So thank you, and I'll see you for the next episode, man. Peace.